live. Get live in a minute. I will talk in a minute. So guys, I'm just telling you right now that I won't be on very long, or maybe I will. I always say that I'll be on for a few minutes and then I'll end up talking for like almost 2 hours. But I want to do what I set out to do, and that's to try to go as live as much as possible. So I can't promise you all that I will be live every day. The 10 and 10 thing, that is the goal. But I do have a security company to run, and it's been an exciting but exhausting last 2 days. I don't know if you guys can see my eyes are red. I am extremely tired, but did want to come on and talk a little bit today so that I'll be consistent and that I can drop the latest news on you. So I can honestly tell you, I don't really have no latest news. We'll talk about that shooting in Reno, Nevada at the casino. We can talk about that a little bit. So I'll put that up there. But that really wasn't the topic of the day. What really is just to come on here and talk to my audience because I said I was going to come on here and talk to my audience. So thank you all for joining and for all of you that are going to join. It's been, as Wiz Khalifa says in his song, it's been a long day. It has been a long day. America is in a very crazy place, but I'm glad to be living in this time and sorry to be living in this time that we're living at the same time, because it just seems like everything is spiraling out of control. And I just watched this video. Whether you like Donald Trump or hate him, that dude is very, very crafty at what he does. And it's almost like the insurance thing while Luigi Mangione, while he shot Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO. He said on the bullets on the shell casings, and I don't know how many of you all watched last night when I was live, but on the shell casings it had delay, deny, depose in reference to insurance claims made by members of different healthcare plans. So that was their way of not paying out: delay, deny, depose. So last night I was on still bullet holes in the ground from the shells that were shot at Mr. Thompson. And just to have that concept of that, like people think like that at the top, delay, deny, depose. So that to be on the shell casings that they recovered from the scene. And then I watched this video, man. I say, whether you like Donald Trump or not, the dude is a master of deception, bullshit, election. It is crazy. I watched this video today. They asked him a question, right? And he said, well, I don't know. Why don't you go ask Nancy Pelosi? She came in, she makes so much money, but now she's the richest person ever on Wall Street. That's what he said. He said, I don't know how she did it, but she made more money. And I laughed uncontrollably, because you can look at it in two ways. Was he deflecting, or was he saying, okay, y'all got me, but we all dirty. I got plenty of stuff on y'all too. So you go ahead and start, what they say, throwing the rocks when you live in a glass house. You understand? So that's what I felt like, and I could not stop laughing. I said, this dude is a master of it. It is really, to me, it was the most gangster thing that he could say or do. He said, like, basically he said, ain't none of our hands clean. We all into something. So if y'all come after me, I'm going to come after y'all. But to go after Pelosi, he hates Pelosi anyway. He hates Pelosi, boy. Oh my God. But at the top of this thing, it's really getting crazy. with all the stuff coming out. And, when you're watching mainstream media, you don't know if this stuff is just sound bites, but when they ask him a question, I mean, it's really not sound bites, it's really like real. So he said that Jeffrey Epstein was stealing girls from him from Mar-a-Lago. And one of the girls is Virginia Giuffre that unalived herself, who committed suicide. I don't know if I can say that, but who unalived herself. And that was crazy. He said that, and so they said, how does he remember all the way back to 2004 when the girl was sub 16 and she just unalived herself in April. So how does he remember a person from 20 years ago? And it's just really, this stuff is like really getting really odd. Is it just me, or do you feel like it's a conspiracy theory, or now this is just true? So I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a little bit more. I'll do the live from my computer so that I can pull up these different videos and stuff. But it just gets wilder and wilder, and you just like, it feels like, right, where they bring you in the room and they tell you something, and after they tell you, it's already too late. You know what I'm saying? You already know, and you're like, okay, it maybe came off as something modest, so you had to do like some innocent stuff, or just some stuff that's in the gray area. You just toe the line, and then next thing you know, you in a full-blown scandal. And you didn't done too much, know too much, so you can't tell. You know what I mean? And then check this out. Check this out. Just think about this. You can't tell, but even if you could tell, look what they do to people who they don't want to talk. You can just ask Jeffrey Epstein that. That's what they do to people who don't want to talk. Well, you can't ask Jeffrey Epstein that because you know where he is. And then to say, okay, it gets to conspiracy theory. So you say like, well, just think about how many people would have to be in on it to cover it up. And it seems like a lot. It really does seem like a lot. But when you start looking at the evidence on this thing, the missing minute, now they said they recovered the tape and it actually has the unmissing minute. So at first the clock reset itself at 11:58 and skipped to 8 to 12 o'clock. And now they're saying they have actually recovered the full, that missing minute. So did it skip every night at 11:58 and go to 12 o'clock, or didn't? Because now they found the missing minute. But when they brought forensic videographers in there, or people who study video analysis on these videos, they realized that these videos had been edited with Adobe Premiere, which is a very, very powerful video editing software. But the thing about the video editing software is that it codes everything that you do. So the video analyzer went back and looked at the code of the video and saw where 2 additional minutes were cut out of the video, that the videos were split together so that it looked like one. And then they also had a video where the security desk was, and these people were supposed to, who was supposed to be at these, where were they all night? Because they found Jeffrey Epstein at 6:30. 6:30 a.m. But these people came in. The one guy came in around 11:30 for his 12 o'clock shift. The girl was already there. Where were they? They said that a guard took some linen up to one of the inmates' cells. Well, how would they known to do that? Like, it's not like they're in a hospital or nursing room. If in the nursing room where you have the thing and hit the button and they just come check on you, they don't have that in the jail. Not unless, I've never been in the jail except for Alcatraz, and they didn't have no intercom system where you just hit the guard and say, hey, I'm cold in here, can you bring up some more sheets? So they said the little orange shadow going up the stairs was the guard taking some of the prisoners some more linen. So, but which guard? Which guard took the linen up there? And where did they get the linen from? So the linen was orange. And then when you look at the videos of Jeffrey Epstein's cell, it's like, why do you have so many damn orange stuff in there? Or maybe when the guard took the orange stuff up there, maybe that was the plant. The person who actually took stuff up there, because there was so much orange stuff in there, they took it up there and they were the person who unalived them. Or the prison cells were just left open by the guards because they knew they had their instructions. Or they knew the guards were sleeping and effing off somewhere in the jail, maybe with the inmate, allegedly. I mean, I ain't gonna say allegedly, nobody alleged that but me. But that does happen in the jail system, so not act like it doesn't. But it appears that when you see those stairs going up to Jeffrey Epstein's cell, where his cell was, that you can really not see people going up there. But in this particular image, you see an orange, just a slither of the orange. Looks like inmate cell uniform going up the cell, up to where Jeffrey Epstein's cell was. So hit for sure. And then you have that backed up by the analysis of Dr. Barton, Michael Barton, a renowned forensic medical examiner, along with the initial medical examiner for the state that examined Jeffrey Epstein. He had 3 fractures in his throat bone, his hyoid bone, and his thyroid bone. They said that is uncommon with the basically strangulation in a hanging. Not unless the person jumped off of something and they jerked down when they hung themselves. I hate to be graphic, but I had to try to explain it. And they broke their thyroid bone. But by just sitting down in one place, it's impossible to break his thyroid bone. At best, it would have suffocated him and cut off his blood, his circulation, at best. And that would have unalived him. But in this case, he had his thyroid bone broken and his thyroid bone broken, and the ligature marks that were on his neck weren't. Why am I talking about that? I'm supposed to be talking about Reno, Nevada. But I'm going to talk about Epstein-Trump connection anyway, because I'm on here. So the noose, if he had sat down, should have been high up on his neck. I know my beard is getting long. Up here, okay, like that. But when they found him, the noose was here in the center. I mean, not the noose. Yeah, the noose was there. So the ligature marks were there. It says somebody choked him from behind. So that is, that is the case. But just the huge cover up, it has to. It's like, again, they bring you in, and you're new, you don't understand, and you're in this position like, okay, I want to tell, but tell who? They already sent somebody in there to kill Jeffrey. If I talk, what they gonna do to me? You gotta look at this like that. And then for the administration to do what they're doing with impunity, it is insane that this man was President Donald Trump's personal attorney, but Trump made him Deputy U.S. Attorney General. And then the U.S. Attorney General is friends with the man, the inmate, Ghislaine Maxwell. They're friends, and they've been on a podcast together. And in fact, on that podcast, he said, "I consider you a friend." So you got a friend of a criminal, a lawyer of a criminal, going to talk to a lawyer of another criminal, and they're already friends. So whatever they had said in that meeting, just think about this. I'm just going to hope something good comes out of that meeting. But whatever said in that meeting, before they got to that meeting, those two had a conversation. That conversation wasn't recorded on any kind of line. So if that conversation wasn't recorded nowhere, the conversation was never had. So when Ghislaine Maxwell is asked for all of these questions up front, she already know what they want to ask her because Todd Blanche already asked her. And if that was going to be the case, I mean, that's for the congressional hearing. But that did she want those questions in advance? But Todd Blanche already know why we need to ask her any questions at all when we already have everything. And when there are people are calling for the release of the grand jury documents, that's nonsense. You don't need the release of the grand jury documents because you have hundreds of thousands of pages that the FBI has that's not in the grand jury. You don't have it's never been in the grand jury. So only a small fraction of the evidence that you want to present to bring somebody to trial is entered into a grand jury. And that's how you get a grand jury indictment. So it could be 98% of the evidence still behind because they didn't need that much to get them indicted in front of a judge to bring them to trial. So once we get the indictment, now we bring the full house, all the evidence that we have, and we put all these investigations that we've done. Well, the person who has that information is Kash Patel and the FBI. So we don't need to release that. We don't need to be asking the Congress or nobody, the Supreme Court or nobody to release that. They could just tell the DOJ, which is Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche, that they already seen the information. How are they gonna tell them except for say something to get Donald Trump off? But this is like, I mean, at times when you bouncing off any idea, you should have a set of friends or something. It's like, dog, this don't sound right, or this don't look good. I see where we're trying to go with this, but this don't look good. Can you see how people are going to perceive that on the other side of that? But it appears that nobody's wise counsel. And listen to counsel. The counsel is Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi. That's who his wise counsel should be. But these are the people who are contributing to, I mean, pretty much they would be co-conspirators in this. If there was somebody else that could charge them, but there's nobody else that can charge them because they are the chargers of chargers. Who would charge? Who would bring them to justice? Who works for Pam Bondi? Somebody would have to be really bold in the FBI and say, you know what? I'm gonna take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to be the one to step out. Now, Dan Bongino seems like he would be that person, but you notice what they do to people who step out of line? Again, go ask Jeffrey Epstein. Can't ask Jeffrey Epstein. They thought Jeff was going to talk. They said, look, man, Jeff getting soft up in there. What do you think? Man, I don't know. You know, if Jeff talk, we all walk. So what do you think a bunch of rich, powerful people going to do? You think Donald Trump said it? He says, well, why are we still talking about Jeffrey? That's old news. He didn't matter in life. That's what he said, something about life. He quoted life. Like his life didn't matter. It was evident that it didn't matter. You think that the government cares about one lowly pedophile? Did they say, you see, he was a pedophile? We knew him, but we didn't really know he got down like that. You know, I'm appalled. Yeah, you know, as soon as I found out, I separated myself from. You think they care about one dude like that when they go blow up whole villages, drop bombs on historic places, send military in there, capture their people? You think they care about one lowly pedophile that nobody else cares about? F them. What about Reagan? What about Pelosi? What about, what do you call it, Larry Sanders from Yale University? What did he have? What Larry had to do with it? I don't know. Bill Clinton flew on a plane 28 times. The dude will say anything. So, but here's the question. You gotta ask this question. Is he telling the truth, or is he just deflecting? Or is it a little bit of both? And he's saying, listen, if you're gonna bring me down, I'm gonna bring every mother effing person that I can down with me. And that's where it stands. But see, we're at a place where American public saying this and said, no, hell no, we want to know the truth. Now, if y'all some pedophiles, you need to tell us now. In the name of Jesus, you need to tell us now. We don't want no pedophiles running our government. We just want crooks and thieves and gangsters running our government. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a strange case. Strange case. Like I said, it's been a long 24 for me. I got to travel early in the morning. I just want to get on. I didn't even talk about what I came on to talk about, and that was the active shooter thing in Reno, Nevada. But I'll make sure we talk about that tomorrow because we really need to talk about that. There's really nothing that you can do except amp up security and the level of training with the security. It's like kind of put some they had some pre-warning things in play. But just like in this incident in Reno, Nevada, there was no pre-warning. It's just a weirdo that went up there with a handgun. Inside of the buildings, they have some alarms that, like, soon as it's like a shot spotter. As soon as it hears or detects gunshots, it alerts people, locks down certain places, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know if you can ever stop mass shootings, and that'll be a great conversation to have. Especially what happened in Reno the other day with 4 people shot, 4 people killed, and then at the NFL building where I spent the last 24 hours at, where the NYPD officer was killed, the security officer was killed out at Tenier. NFL employee was shot, another innocent person was shot. And yeah, man, it was a very crazy day, and that's where we are. You know, we talk about mental health. We have people who are just fed up with pharmacy, government, corporate America, the housing prices, the food prices, gas prices, milk prices. They're tired of people lying to them, and so people are going crazy. So I think mental health does need to come into that conversation. What we could do, people who are in the security field, what we could do to, bring more awareness to it and be better prepared for it. One, it was. I mean, I guess it was a mass shooter. It wasn't like a rampage. Well, it was the incident in Anchorage. I think it was in Anchorage, Canada, where the 2 guys walked down the street. I don't know if you guys saw that. We could talk about that later too. And they just started shooting. One guy, he shot the security guard. He was trying to shoot somebody else, shot a security guard. And then another security guard popped the trunk, had that AR, and really put some work in on my man. So we'll talk about that. But this is where we are. This is the type of society that we are in. There are now states that have permitless carry, a lot of 2A stuff coming into play. So how do you deal with that? How do you prepare? Because going to the range a couple of times and taking your gun off the table and shooting at the target that doesn't shoot back, or no movement, tactical, strategical, stuff like that, it really doesn't help you in the gunfight. And most people who are in security and law enforcement, only go when their job tells them to go. We're in a mean, cruel, dangerous, very dangerous world right now. And if you're in the protection field, you want to go home, whether that's law enforcement, security, whatever it is, you need to train. You really need to train, because see, you have to be good. You have a limited supply of ammo. These young guys have long guns that you don't have. Not everybody has a long gun in their car or has been trained for a long gun. They have long guns. They have 3D print handguns. They have 30 round magazines. They have all of this stuff. And and whatever it is, you may carry the Glock. Most law enforcement agencies carry the Glock. Or you got 17. I mean, you could put some serious work in with that, but you gotta polish up your skills on your own. And right now, I'll tell you, one of my brother Kenneth Thornton just jumped on this live, and I'll tell you about Kenneth. He's what is Safety First Firearms Training. And if you're in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, he give you multi-state, concealed carry licenses, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Utah. He does it all, and has the best firearm training program in Maryland, hands down. And when I opened up my firearm training thing, he taught me a lot about the business. It really helped me become a better firearm instructor or a better shooter myself. And in a lot of cases, he helped me become a better responsible man too. So I thank him for over 30 years of friendship. Good guy, Kenneth Thornton, Safety First Firearm Training. Drop your platform on in the notes, in the comments, so people could check you out, Kenny. And I'm gonna bring him on one day too, because I want to bring him on. He got a lot of stuff going on, man, but I don't know if he still is a firearm instructor for the federal government, and he trains a lot of the law enforcement people in there. So I'd love to bring him on and talk about his personal business and as much as he can about being a firearm instructor for the federal government. And so that's it, guys. I really want to, and I think he also be good to having in on this conversation on mass shooters. They don't call it active shooter anymore. They call it mass shooter. So we'll come back and talk about that. But I'm gonna get some rest tonight. Kenny, drop your before I jump off. Drop your how people can tap into you. Okay, and drop your Instagram, website, wherever you want them to tap into. So yeah, man. Yeah, DC, Maryland, Utah, Virginia, 300. That's good, man. Listen, get certified. Listen, teach your wife, teach your kids, whoever you're attached to. Learn how to shoot. Learn how to shoot all the guns. Learn how to shoot a handgun. Learn how to shoot a rifle. Learn how to shoot a shotgun. A lot of people are scared to shoot because of the noise, the boom noise. But you know, the most dangerous place you're going to be is on the other side of the firearm. You don't want to be on the barrel side. The noise side don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Your kids make more noise in the house than that. But learn how to protect yourself. Like I said, I got 3 pit bulls, man. But they the worst they the least of their problems. They get an alarm system. I'm the nightmare. I think that's all I got, man. When y'all come on, I appreciate you watching. Always, share my videos when you can. Give it to somebody who can benefit from it. If you can, shoot me some likes. And if you want to jump in the super chat or become a member, make sure you do that, because I'm taking a lot of stuff to next level, and I'm putting some people in on some really inside track stuff, man. I'll give y'all the cheat code, but you only here you're gonna get the game, but in the background, in the members and groups, we give you the cheat code so you can win at your business. So make sure you do that. Subscribe, share, like, comment. Make sure you turn on those notifications too, because I've been dropping some crazy stuff. I'm gonna start dropping in on a lot of these crime scenes, some of these security guard shootings, some of these law enforcement shootings, the mass shooting over there in New York. That was crazy. I went to where the United Healthcare CEO was shot down. So make sure you go watch that video too, because that was informative. And I'm gonna talk more about that because I'll be at the trial. Oh, without a doubt. But any questions, get in my Discord. All that stuff is in the header of my YouTube channel. You can find out how to email me, all of that stuff. Get to my website, my executive protection training classes, everything that I do. All the classes until I'm gonna move the date up. I said August 5th, but I've been doing very bad at putting the posts out and the information out about that class. So I'm almost extended till August 15th. And if you get any class between now and 2026, it's 50% off. Only class is not 50% off is the BMW security driving class that we have. So if you want to get into executive protection, right now is the time. Just if you don't believe me, I'm going to be talking about that too. If you don't believe me, just do this. Go Google corporate America's response to the recent shootings and see what they say about how they're beefing up security. It's a lot of stuff that happened. 2 congressmen, husband and wife congressman team in Minnesota got killed, assassinated at their house. A senator and his wife got shot in another house. The other day in Danville, Virginia, a council member got set on fire. President Trump tried to assassinate him 2 times, and it's only going to get worse. So all of you guys are sitting on the fence with your hands in your pockets, scared to take a risk on yourself. You ain't gonna never get nowhere. You want to get off those club doors. You want to, get off into see other parts of the world, travel, protect people, meet people, and do things you've never done. That's a different level of sacrifice. And I recommend that you get in a class. I ain't gonna say any class because all classes aren't the same. And I'm not on here specifically advertising my class. But if you want to go to an executive protection school, just check out my video. I got a video dropping tomorrow, I believe at 10 a.m. Watch that video. And if I don't have the most popular, fastest growing, realistic informative executive protection school in the United States or anywhere in the world, then I do the class for free. But I already know what I bring to the table, and so do a lot of people who will come on these videos and tell you what I do. And the best part about it is I got 30 years in the business. I'm trying to give it another 24 months, and I'm trying to give away the cheat code. So you guys can take my place. All right. And even not even me, the guys in my age bracket who've been doing it for a long time, they can't do it forever. They got to tap out some kind of way. And if we're tapping out, then that means you got to tap in. You got to tap into the guys who are really doing this and who are doing it at a high level. So check out my website, and you guys make sure Kenneth Instructor Thornton put the GOAT code, receive 50 off. GOAT TV. Is it all one word, Ken, GOAT TV, or you got space in there? You should make it all one word so that, well, I guess, I don't know. If you put it, I guess they can remember that. All firearms training. Thanks guys for watching. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep and check out. I will be back on tomorrow. I am traveling tomorrow, so I may even have one show, even 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. It's gonna be one or the other. But if you got your notifications on, you won't miss it. All right, appreciate y'all watching. Peace. I'm out. Hey, listen, and thank you, New York. New York, I had 24,000 watchers last night watching my live from the NFL building. Thank you guys for showing up and representing. And that's it. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.